cases, rising again. Just maybe putting on your professional hat, we ask you.
Well, let me tell you, first of all, I'm kind of pleased when they find cases without a link, because it shows that they're looking. There's always a fear that they could do a Donald Trump and stop testing and then they won't find anything. So the fact that they're finding new cases is a glass is half empty and glass is half full kind of thing. At least there's water in there. Yeah. So the impact of the elections, we've already said it before. I mean, you got this cluster in Tampines, you've got these new cases. You really want the ministerial committee to be focused on the pandemic. Instead of which, poor Lawrence Wong is to go and defend what they've done with, with Halima disappearing from marketing halfway through the term. So there's a lot of issues that it's very, very hard to do two things of this level of importance at the same time.
So today is basically the final day of campaign.
Yes.
Thus far, how do you feel about your campaign, about your chances?
Yeah, I think we've run a really outstanding campaign. The team has been really good. I mean, we've been forced to operate under very, very unusual circumstances. We've had no rallies, we've had no large walkabouts. We've had to talk to people through a mask. When you're talking to elderly people, they cannot understand what you're saying because they're used to lip reading. But our IT people have been outstanding. They put together these electronic rallies. We've had this APA, we've had AMA sessions, we've had Reddit, we've had all kinds of different approaches. In Singapore, voting is compulsory. So what that means is the majority of your voters probably have never seen any of our online material. And so as a result of that, I'm really not optimistic at all about the outcomes of this election.
Highlight the regrets that the party has encountered during the entire trail?
Yeah, I think I'll speak for myself and then we'll let the Holland Bukit team come by. I think the biggest regret is the inability of the PAP to engage us on the issues. The first thing we wanted to do was to talk about our 4 yes, 1 no, and then they started going into some weird thing about how they misinterpreted a Straits Times article. And then when they talked about the COVID, Dr. Tan and I offered to debate with Minister Chan Chun Sing, and then he wanted to know what we were going to say. I mean, this is it's like so typical of a PAP. They cannot go into a fight without the advantage of knowing the opponent's strategy and what they're going to do. So, and Minister Iswaran repeated the same thing yesterday. He said, we won't go into the debate until we know what they're going to say. It's like, I'm going into a football match and I want to know the opposing team's lineup and their strategy and how they're going to attack us. But we gave it to them. We told them, Dr. Tan told them about his economic plan. I told them about our economic approach, which focuses on jobs and seniors. And I gave them the reference to a scientific article I written earlier on this. So James, you want to come in on
So for the Holland Bukit Timah is also consistent. There is no engagement. The PAP on the other side, only gives out letters to residents. They have circulated a letter yesterday. And the point they made is they want to promote a green lung in Holland Bukit Timah. But ironically, the PAP is giving out fat candidate booklets stuffed in plastic bags. And that is not environmentally friendly at all. So I think the voters of Holland Bukit Timah have been actually deprived of engagement, and that's one of the impacts of this internet election. One of the questions that often comes up is how do we pay for the proposals that the SDP has put forward on the 4Y1 campaign. So I will ask GC to comment and clarify on.
Yes, actually, the PAP likes to paint SDP as a tax and spend party, taxing people to spend big. But it's not the case in this particular instance, where our proposals are going to be financed by a fuller use of the investment returns on our reserves. So it is very clear that there is no tax increase to finance. There is no need at all to increase tax or to introduce new tax. It will be fully covered by the investment returns on our reserves. It's like spending the interest income on your fixed deposit in the bank, not touching the principal at all. And the reserves will continue to grow. There is no rating on the reserves. The reserves will continue to grow with the balance from the spending, with the revenue from the sale of state land leases for $16 billion a year, and with economic growth and net investment flows into the economy. The reserves, instead of being rated, will grow and grow with the financing of the SDP proposals, which are meant to help the people cope with not only COVID-19 but also beyond. Higher cost of living caused by GST and retrenchment benefits for those who lose their jobs, and retirement income for those who need who are above 65, and they need money to make up for the loss of income and to make up for the CPF paid out of only $800 a month, when we need another $500 to make up for the minimum household expenditure of $1,375.
So how does the SDP feel about your chances?
Well, we have had a very positive response. I would now like to invite Min and also say a few words about,
Well, I mean, I'm quite heartened by the response. I think residents have reached out to us through our individual Facebook pages, through our Holland Bukit Timah Facebook page, and they've shared, some really encouraging, supportive messages. So, I mean, that itself, being able to reach out and connect with people and have our message resonate with them, I think it really keeps us going, and it gives us the courage and conviction to keep fighting. And I'm just really happy that there's support there.
If there's a last message you could say to voters before cooling off date, what would that be?
I think, just think critically about the issues, examine, what we presented, as well as the opposing side, and also, delve deep and kind of trust your intuition. Look at the candidates as well, what we bring to the table as people, not just candidates, and bring that all together and make the decision based on that.
And let me add to tell the residents of Holland Bukit Timah and Bukit Panjang, vote the SDP. Let us be your voice in Parliament. I think it is too long a time where we hear one party's voice. It is time for the residents of Holland Bukit Timah and Bukit Panjang's voices to be heard in Parliament. Give us that opportunity to speak for you and let the people's voice be heard. We would like to engage on municipal issues that the residents here have faced, the dengues that they have been facing amongst the COVID season. These are things that we don't hear the PAP trying to address, they are trying to avoid. We're looking at roads that has not been repaired. Well, we hope they will, although they did not bring these issues up, we hope they will continue to look at it.
Jenny from today, Dr. Tambaya, this campaign for the past 9 days, we've seen, SCP being issued a few POFMA directions, and then there's been a kind of tough exchange of words between both parties, and it seems to be kind of directed at you. Do you think that, they find you a threat, given your popularity because
I'm
of
not
COVID?
I'm not so egotistical. But I think the POFMA, as I told you, the last one was really baffling. But the statement yesterday from both MOH and MND suggests that there may have been some error in terms of how the POFMA was crafted. So we'll be exploring that. As I mentioned earlier, our lawyer is preparing the cancellation notice. So we will address some of those issues.
Yesterday you mentioned, right, that you're kind of never know what last minute trick the PAP is going to pull. How are you feeling about it today?
Yeah, that's part of the reason why we agreed to talk to y'all. Whether y'all have any clues. I was telling Sunjuan, if we get a question that's really from left field from one of y'all, that means that you guys have been sniffing around and you think that you have some idea of what's the trick they're going to pull on us. But as I said, we are going to be in the office with recording people on standby up to 11:30 at night, so that if they pull some trick at 11 o'clock, we'll at least be able to respond to it.
Do you have a message to voters in Bukit Panjang?
Oh, definitely. I really appreciate what the voters of Bukit Panjang have done. In the last 9 days, they've gone way beyond what we've experienced in the last 10 years in terms of opening their hearts, opening their homes to us. And it's been a real eye-opener. It's been a great experience. It's been very warm. And whatever the outcome on Friday, I'm going to enjoy working with them, and of course with the Holland Bukit Timah team, which is just across the road. Yeah.
Well, our intention is to form a town council together, and we'll continue to provide the services that the residents here have been enjoying.
Better services, actually.
Better.
Way better.
Way better.
Yeah. The number of complaints we've heard is just incredible. I mean, going from noise to lift upgrading to car parks that are hazardous. There's numerous municipal issues, And again, best case scenario, Holland Bukit Timah and Bukit Panjang goes to SDP, and we'll be able to work together.
If there's one thing you wish to change during the past 9 days of campaigning, what would that be?
Yeah, you know, a long time ago we had a debate in the parliamentary election, and every developed country in the world has debates in parliamentary elections, except Singapore. So we need to engage on the issues rather than name calling and using dubious laws like FOFMA and things like that. So if there's one thing I would change, it would be to actually have a debate.
What are some of your plans for tomorrow?
Yeah, I got a clinic in the morning. I actually scheduled it because, you know, we're not supposed to do any campaigning and things like that. And the whole afternoon I'm going to sleep. I'm just really tired.
Any plans for the participants of polling day that you can
Yeah, we still haven't got any clarity from ELD on some of the details like the gathering. Also the special polling stations, you know, the two in Marina Bay Sands and JW Marriott. We need to know how many of our voters are there, because if there's significant numbers of our voters, then we have to send somebody. We're going to send somebody in full PPE, so it'll probably end up being me, because I'm used to doing it on a daily basis. So we will be communicating with ELD to find out about that. Okay, the bus is here. I'm sorry, any last question? Anybody who's got any clue as to what bomb the PAP is going to throw, please feel free to ask us the question.
Will there be any bombs at the story?
No lah, how can we do that? We have no power, we are pacifists. We're just reacting. Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks again. Thank you. Thanks.
all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.